New Delhi had an earthquake of 6 magnitude, and in fact 50 people were injured in that particular earthquake which had struck Delhi. Now if we tell you about, can we just slow things down a bit? Let's just go back to the previous slide, please. Let's go back to the previous slide and let's tell our viewers about what happened in Moradabad. Let's quickly go back to the previous slide if we can. Yes. Okay, I think we are. Let's just go back to the previous slide, please, where of course you have a situation where after this, the next one, where Moradabad of course was the epicenter of the next earthquake which happened in Delhi of course, and 4.7 you can see was the magnitude. That also was in 1960, August 27th in fact, and 14 people died in that particular earthquake. Let's move on to the next earthquake of course, which also occurred in the New Delhi NCR region. 5.2 was the severity, thankfully no casualties. It happened in March 5th, 2012. Then in 1994, in fact July 29th to be precise, there was an earthquake in New Delhi. The epicenter was a magnitude of 4.0 on the Richter scale, similar to what happened today. No casualties thankfully in 1994 in that quake. Then there was another quake in 1956, October 10th in fact. The epicenter was Khurja and the magnitude was 6.7. There were some injuries reported. The exact number is not known as a result of this particular quake. Now if we tell you about the worst earthquakes all over India, well, these are the worst earthquakes all over India. Of course, the one in Jammu and Kashmir, it happened in November 2005. The magnitude was 7.6 on the Richter scale, and there were about over 86,000 casualties as a result of that particular earthquake. In fact, November 2005 is when it had occurred. As I told you earlier, magnitude 7.6, over 86,000 casualties. This is the exact spot, of course, where that earthquake was reported. Now quickly telling you about the one that has occurred in Bhuj in Gujarat, in fact, January 2001 to be precise. 7.7 was this earthquake severity on the Richter scale. 13,805 plus people died in Bhuj in that horrific Gujarat earthquake. In Latur in Maharashtra in September 1993, another earthquake was reported. This was 6.2 on the Richter scale, and 9,748 people died as a result of that particular earthquake. Also in Uttarakhand, Uttarkashi, in October 1991, there was an earthquake. Uttarkashi was of course part of UP then. 6.8 was the severity on the Richter scale. About 768 to 2,000 people perished as a result of this particular quake. Also now talking about the quake in Koina, December 1967 is when this was recorded. It was 6.6 on the Richter scale, and 180 people died as a result of that earthquake. Now let's tell you about the world's worst earthquakes. What are those? Well,